how we have entertainers, and there are certain ways, and charismatic and can appeal to a lot of people. A lot of ones that people don't really talk about from back in the day is like Sammy Davis Jr. How he kind of played a crossover real good. He kind of appealed to both sides, and he was wealthy. But then at the end, it was like he was faced with all kind of crazy debt and bankruptcy and stuff. It's like that's a narrative.
Well, I mean, the worst thing is that, we as entertainers and leaders and so on and so forth, we can do it. We can try to play like he's somebody else. For him to be with Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra, it cost him a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because he was around during the era where it was segregation, it was racism. So, if he did get a suite in one of those hotels, he probably paid triple for it.
Yep.
It might have made a concession because of, he was cool with Frank, or Frank might have knew a mafia member, like, hey, man, this is my main man. He's part of the Red Pack, can you look out for him? Yeah, we'll just send you a suite, but he's going to have to pay us. And a lot of things that, even we know if you go to a bank as a black man, and if your credit just ain't good and you don't have relationships with the bank, you're not going to get that loan.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, it was hard. It's hard on the black man today. I can imagine how hard it was on Sammy and how he wanted to feel accepted. He wanted to be a part of the rest. He enjoyed that company with Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra. That was big to him.
Yeah.
So he probably paid a healthy price, to be a part of that Red Pack. So at the end of the day, you live in a false reality and you spend your money in so many different negative and so many effed up ways that, eventually, you know what I'm saying? It might not come out in the rinse, but it's damn sure going to come out in the wash. You know what I'm saying? So, when it was all said and done, people thought that, because of his jury, because of his mansion, that he was well-to-do, but in reality, he probably spent a lot of money and effed off a lot of money trying to play that part, keeping up with the Joneses, keeping up with these rich white boys who was getting $300,000-$400,000 a show, who can play Las Vegas. They can make an exception to have Sammy there, but he wasn't gonna get the money. Back then, people were real racist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, it's easy for somebody to get played back in the day. You you take a man from the hood and you put him in among all these rich people, as we were speaking about Sammy Davis Jr., and what you expect? If you don't have no accounting skills, you don't have no business skills, you can make $1 million. And, me and you both know, man, if you ever had real money, then $1 million can go in a week.
Yeah.
You buy a Phantom, that's $400,000. You buy the jury, that's another $100,000. You get another car, that's $100,000. You buy some furniture, that's $200,000-$300,000. And then you take care of your people, you broke. So, most people of that stature, once they realize that they broke, he might go take out a loan on the house. He might have spent $1 million. He go get a loan on the house. So now he got a 30-year mortgage, but they gave him a few $100,000 to play with, so he can keep playing the part that's fit for the script, make it look like he's still popping like Orange Ruttenbacher. You know what I'm saying? Now, he's in debt. So he able to get by because he could do a show here and show there, but they really got him under by his balls. And then so when the shit hit the fan and the family members were like, oh, Uncle Fox was worth this money. Uncle Fox was worth this money. And then they kind of find out that the man got debt up the ass.
Yeah. And
that he was borrowing money from everybody to pay this lifestyle. Everybody be like, wow, I didn't know that. I thought he was rich.
Too cool for calm.